Hello, my dear students, and welcome once again to Zenith Academy Online. Today, we are going to do a sample paper for chemistry for ICSE class 10 for term 2 examinations. Since your board exams are approaching, I thought of doing a sample paper with you. So, let's start, my ICSE students. So, let me tell you that these questions I have taken from this particular book, 61 sample question papers from ICSE class 10. Okay, this book is from Oswal-Gurukul. I'll give you the link of this book here in the description box as well. So this sample paper is from this book. Let's start. So our question number 1. Choose the correct answers to the questions from the given options. So children, always remember in the MCQs, you don't have to copy the question. You have to just write the correct answers only. So the IUPAC name of acetylene is it propane, propyne, ethene or ethine? Okay, let me take the marker out here so that I can write. Okay, so what is the IUPAC name of this? The answer is D, ethine. Okay, this is the correct answer. Aluminium powder is used in thermite welding because, why is aluminium powder used in thermite welding? Is it because it is a strong reducing agent, or it is a strong oxidizing agent, it is corrosion resistant, or it is good conductor of heat? So the answer is because it is a strong reducing agent. Okay, the answer is this. So it reduces, since it is a strong reducing agent, what does it do? It reduces Fe2O3 to ion. Can you see the removal of oxygen, right? And since it is an exothermic reaction, so this is molten ion. This is in the form of molten, in the form of liquid. So this is molten ion. So it reduces Fe2O3 to ion. This reduced ion, that is the molten ion, sinks and flows into the gap of the grinder, thereby welding it. तो जो भी जगह जिसको आपको वेल्ड करना है, उसको जोड़ना है, तो वहां क्या होगा? एल्यूमिनियम पाउडर अगर होगा तो Fe2O3 will get reduced to a molten Fe and it will get coated there. Okay, clear to you? Just let me switch on the power. Now let's go on to the next question. An aqueous solution of HCl gas is named. What is the aqueous solution of HCl known as? Look at the options here, and the answer is muriatic acid. Aqueous solution of HCl gas is known as muriatic acid. Okay, remember this. Which of the following can be used as a drying agent for ammonia? Okay, so the answer is calcium oxide. Calcium oxide can be used as a drying agent for ammonia. Okay, calcium oxide or lime water is generally used for obtaining dry ammonia gas. On the other hand, sulfuric acid, phosphorus pentaoxide and calcium chloride react with ammonia to give a product, and hence they are not suitable for drying purposes. So in this, I am reading all this from this same book. So in this book, the options along with the explanation is given to you. Okay, so proper explanation is given to you so that you know why that answer is correct. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Rearrange the following steps involved in the contact process for manufacture of H2SO4. So contact process is there, it is not in the reduced portion. Please remember that. Okay, so read the 4 points. Production of sulfur trioxide, addition of water to H2S2O7, और production of sulfur dioxide and production of oleum. तो इन चारों को हमें step wise we have to arrange. Okay, and then fifth is purification of gas. So all of them we have to arrange properly. So let me tell you the answer for this one. First of all, you will do production of sulfur dioxide. This is the first step, isn't it? And then you purify the gases. This is the second step. Okay, so after third it will be fifth. Okay, and then production of sulfur trioxide, so it is first. Then the fourth step is production of oleum, right? This is the fourth step. And then Addition of water to H2S2O7. This is the fifth step. So second comes last. So which option is correct? Just check. Yes, I think option B. Option B is correct. Isn't it? So first you produce sulfur dioxide, then you purify the gas, then we produce sulfur trioxide, then oleum is produced, and then addition of water to oleum H2S2O7. Clear? Chalo, let's go ahead. Compounds having the same molecular formula but different arrangement of atoms is called. This is very, very easy. This is isomers. We all know this. This was a very easy question. Now, liquor ammonia fortis is it an unsaturated solution of ammonia in water? Is it saturated solution of ammonia in water? Is it saturated solution of ammonia in alcohol or unsaturated solution of ammonia in alcohol? So the answer is B. Yes, it is a saturated solution of ammonia in water. I will read what is written here. The compounds which have the same liquor ammonia fortis is a name given to the saturated solution of ammonia in water, and it is also known as 880 ammonia because it has a density of nearly about 0.880. It is always stored in tightly stoppered bottles in a cold place. So they give you important information about this as well. Let's see the next question. What are the constituent elements of duralumin? So when I was teaching you metallurgy, I told you have to learn the constituents, not the exact percentage, but at least the constituents of elements, right? So duralumin is having aluminium, copper, magnesium, and manganese. So C is the correct answer. Okay. Now let's see the next question. The arrangement of round bottom flask in the fountain experiment is. Do you remember the fountain experiment? The round bottom flask. This is how the round bottom flask looks like. Okay. So round bottom flask is in an inverted position there. Last question of question 1, the 10th question. When sulfuric acid is added to sodium carbonate, okay, brisk effervescence is produced, which is due to, okay, the brisk effervescence is because due of evolution of carbon dioxide gas. When H2SO4 reacts with sodium carbonate, okay, CO2 will be released, and that is this CO2 which gives that brisk effervescence. Okay, shall I tell you the reactions? See here. This is sodium carbonate, Na2CO3. When it reacts with H2SO4, okay, it will form Na2SO4 plus water plus CO2. And this CO2 gas is responsible for the brisk effervescence. Let's come to section B. Question number 2. Okay. Define isomerism and define ore. These are very easy questions. You have to directly give the definition. You have to pay attention when you are writing the definitions. The core words have to be there. Okay. So listen to me. The compounds having the same molecular formula but different structural formula are called isomers of one another, and this phenomena is known as isomerism. Okay, so first you have to say what are isomers, and then this phenomena of forming isomers is known as isomerism. Okay, now ore is what? Ore is a mineral from which metal can be extracted commercially at a comparatively low cost and with a minimum effort are known as ores of the metal. You know, there can be many minerals of that metal, okay, of that metal if we are talking about, but ore is that mineral from which the metal can be extracted conveniently, profitably, right, and with a less amount of time. It should give us profit. That's it. Okay, let's go ahead. Name the compound formed when copper turnings are heated with concentrated H2SO4. And second is a mixture of ammonia and oxygen are passed over heated platinum at 800 degrees Celsius. So read the question carefully, children. You are not supposed to give the reactions. So if you don't know the reactions, that's completely okay. You just have to name the compound. Read the question, name the compound. Okay, but I will give you the reaction here so that you know how it is done. Okay, so first is when copper turnings are heated with concentrated H2SO4. Okay, so copper will replace hydrogen, you will form copper sulfate, correct? Plus water will be formed because H2, this H2 and one O will be removed, water and SO2. If you have read, if you have seen my video video session on this chapter, you will know very well the reactions of sulfuric acid, right? So this SO2 is evolved. Okay, so name the compound formed when copper turnings are heated with concentrated H2SO4. Which compound will you see? You will see basically SO2 because this is the gas which will be evolved. Okay, so this was A. B, a mixture of ammonia. So you will write, we will get copper sulfate, water and SO2 will be evolved. A mixture of ammonia and oxygen are passed over heated platinum at 800 degrees Celsius. A mixture of ammonia and oxygen. So if they have given you, first of all, sorry, listen to me. If you are given this question and if you are told to write the reaction, then you will balance it. See, like this, yeah, it is balanced down. So you have to balance also, but right now they have just told you to name the compound. So even if the balancing is wrong, that's okay. Okay. Now let's see a mixture of ammonia and oxygen. So ammonia is NH3, ammonia and oxygen, when they react, they will form, in the chapter ammonia, I have given you all the reactions, I have explained you all the reactions. It will be oxidized. Okay, water will be formed. So NO which is formed, which further forms NO2. ये जो NO form हुआ है, it will again react with oxygen and it will form NO2, which is brown in color, while water rise off as steam. So this is brown coloration, that brown liquid that you will see, and this will rise off as steam in the form of gas. Okay. So if you want to balance, you can balance it. This will be 4, 5, nitrogen 4, and 3 to 6. Okay, this is how you will write. So no need of writing the full equation. You can just write NO2 will be obtained. Okay, which is brown in color. Draw the structural diagram of ethanol, 2,3-dimethylbutane and methanoic acid. So this also I have taken a very elaborate session on this. Ethanol. Okay, how to write ethanol. So just see eth and all, right? So eth means 2 carbon, and is ANE, और फिर उसमें से E निकाल के you join OL, right? It means it has single bonds in between. All means it has an alcohol, right? So once you add them, once you write this, then you add the hydrogen. So there is 1 carbon, 4 valencies of carbon are there. So here you will write H, H, H. This carbon 2 valencies are done, so 1 H and 1 H here. Okay, yeah, this also you can write like this, O and H, right? Or simply OH will also do. Now let's talk about methanoic acid, this one. Okay, meth matlab 1, okay, meth, and matlab single bond with, and oic acid. Oic acid means COOH, right? Right. So this carbon H, but we have to draw the structure. This is thus the formula. We have to draw the structure. So C double bond OH को कैसे बनाते हैं? C double bond COH को कैसे बनाते हैं? ऐसे, और फिर इसके यहाँ एक हाइड्रोजन लगा दो. So this is the structure. Have you understood? Now 2,3-dimethylbutane. So first of all you have to make butane. 1, 2, 3, 4. Meth, eth, prop, but. Butane means single bond between them. Now so it is 1, 2, 3 and 4. So at 2 and 3 position we have to add a methyl group, CH3, CH3, right? Now just satisfy the valency of carbon. So either this carbon 1 valency is already satisfied. This is 1, right? So 3 more, 1 here, 1 here and 1 here. Okay, now for this carbon 1 valency is here, 1 valency is here, 1 valency is here. 3 is satisfied, so 1 more hydrogen. For this carbon, you can see 1, 2, 3 is already satisfied. So 4. For this, 1 is done. Okay, only 1 is done. ये एक bond है. So 1, 2 and 3. 3 hydrogens will be here. Understood? This is 2,3-dimethylbutane. Now, next question is complete and balance the following chemical equations. Okay, so let's take the first one. CH2 double bond CH2. Okay, this is ethene and this is chlorine. So when chlorine is passed over ethene in presence of CCl4. Okay, so what will happen? This CH2 is there na beta. So this one bond breaks. There is a double bond here. Can you see there is a double bond here? So this one bond breaks. So 1 electron goes there and it attaches here with 1 chlorine. See, this Cl2 is there na bacha. So this Cl and this Cl, this breaks homolytic cleavage. So it comes with 1 electron. Or when this bond breaks, one bond brings so 1 electron and 1 electron. Now chlorine comes with its 1 electron and 1 electron, and so a bond is formed here. Understood? Shall I explain this again? See. So this is CH2, single bond CH2. When one bond breaks, there is 1 electron and 1 electron, 2 electron, right? Because that bond is broken. Now this chlorine comes with its electron, 1 electron. So here this bond is formed. Got it? Right. So let's see. So this, what is its name? Its name is 1, 2. See, 1 and 2 position, 2 chlorine are there. So 1, 2 dichloroethane. So from ethene it has formed ethane. Correct? Let me rub this off. Now SO3 plus H2SO4 gives what? Okay, it gives oleum or pyrosulfuric acid. अभी हमने देखा है H2S2O7. This is oleum, or it is also known as pyrosulfuric acid. Pyrosulfuric acid. Okay. Now twice NH3 plus thrice copper oxide, ammonia plus copper oxide. It will form अमोनिया चैप्टर अगर अच्छे से पढ़ा है तो आपको पता है कि इस केस में नाइट्रोजन गैस रिलीज होती है, ठीक है, और वाटर बनता है एंड कॉपर ऑक्साइड इज रिड्यूस्ड टू कॉपर, राइट. यू नाउ जस्ट हैव टू बैलेंस दिस. सो 3H2O से वो 6 हो जाएगा हाइड्रोजन, कार्बन यहाँ 3, कॉपर 3 है तो यहाँ पे भी 3, राइट. अंडरस्टूड. सो N2 plus thrice H2O plus thrice copper. Okay. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 3. Study the figure given below and answer the questions that follow. So from the diagram you now know what it is, right? Fountain experiment. So first question is identify the gas Y. Okay, what gas will come out and then it will react. ठीक है, चलो बताओ what is gas Y? Yes, this is HCl gas. Okay, what property of gas Y does this experiment demonstrate? It demonstrates that gas Y is highly soluble in water. Its solubility, okay, you have to write that it shows gas Y is highly soluble in water. High solubility it is explaining, right? So high solubility of gas Y also you can write. Now state the following. Name one lead component that can be used to oxidize HCl to chlorine. ऐसा main important compound which is used to oxidize HCl to chlorine. Okay, so it is basically oxidizing, removing of hydrogen. So which compound is there which will do that? Okay, so the answer is lead oxide, or you can say red lead. Okay, next, the compound added to pure alumina to lower the fusion temperature during the electrolytic reduction of alumina. So this I have explained a lot in detail in the I button. I will link that video also where I've explained you the reduction of alumina, the whole process of extraction of aluminum, right? So here what is the answer? Cryolite. Cryolite is added to pure alumina to lower the fusion temperature during the electrolytic reduction of alumina. Now, state the observation for the following. So, read the question always very carefully. You have to just state what you are able to observe. Okay? You are not supposed to write the full reaction, but what you observe, you are supposed to write. And if you write the reaction, it is all the more good. Okay? So, when hydrogen chloride gas comes in contact with ammonia solution. So, when hydrogen chloride gas, HCl, comes in contact with ammonia solution, okay, then what is formed? NH4Cl, ammonium chloride. So when hydrogen chloride gas comes in contact with ammonia, it combines with ammonia to form dense white fumes of ammonium chloride. So what is the observation here? What you will write? You will write dense white fumes of ammonium chloride. Okay? You will write this. You will not just simply write this and leave it. What are you going to observe? You are going to observe dense white fumes. So even if you don't write the reaction and even if you just write this, that is perfectly okay. But if you write the reaction, it is all the more good. Okay, let's go ahead with the next question. When ammonia is passed through yellow lead oxide, what do you see? Okay, so lead oxide, yellow lead oxide is PbO. Okay, when ammonia is passed over this, okay, it will form lead, nitrogen and water. So for all these things, you have to watch my sessions where I've explained ammonia very much in detail. Okay, so just balance this now. So what are you going to see? You are going to see this. Okay, in nitrogen is not observable, water is not observable. So you will see silvery white lead. So what you will write? When ammonia is passed through yellow lead oxide, it changes to silvery white lead. Okay, you write this. Write balanced equation for the following conversions. So let's start with the first question. Potassium sulfate from potassium hydrogen carbonate and sulfuric acid. So what is formed? Potassium sulfate is formed. So it will have to be in the product side. Okay. So potassium sulfate. Wait, did I miss this? Sorry, I missed the last one out here. I'm so sorry. I missed the last one out here. Let's do that. Action of nitric acid on limestone. So limestone is calcium carbonate. In this, we have to study the nitric acid action. So calcium will replace hydrogen. It will form calcium nitrate, CaNO3 whole twice. So since this is a base and this is an acid, it will form salt, water and CO2. Okay, water, carbonate hai na, so it will form carbon dioxide as well, right? So if we balance this, if hydrogen is not balanced, right? So when nitric acid reacts with limestone, carbon dioxide gas is liberated. This is what will be observed, है ना? Carbon dioxide effervescence के साथ दिखेगा हमें. So this is what is observed. So instead the observation, you have to mention in writing that effervescence due to carbon dioxide is seen or carbon dioxide gas is liberated. Now let's write balanced equation. Potassium sulfate is formed. Okay, so potassium sulfate is K2SO4 is formed from potassium hydrogen carbonate, and sulfuric acid. So now you see what else will be formed. Dekho, K2S, this H, okay, this I will have to take two molecules of this. So 2K will replace 2 hydrogen, it will form K2SO4. Okay, water and CO2 will be formed because it is a carbonate reacting with an acid. So salt, water and CO2 will be formed. and now you have to balance it, right? So water will be 2 and CO2 will also be 2. Done? Understood, children? Very nice. Now let's do the next one, methyl chloride from methane. Okay, so methyl chloride is formed from methane. So from methane, methyl chloride CH3Cl. So now nothing else is given. So from here, how it will be formed? It has to be reacted with chlorine. Then only this chlorine will come here, right? So CH3Cl is formed from here. H is remaining from here. Cl is remaining. So we will get HCl, and this is already balanced. So we get methyl chloride and HCl. Correct? Let's see the next. Let me see. Okay. Carbonic acid from carbon and concentrated nitric acid. Okay. Carbonic acid is what, बच्चों? H2CO3 is carbonic acid. So देखो C plus HNO3, what it will form? It will form carbonic acid plus देखो concentrated nitric acid के साथ carbon react किया है, right? So it will form NO2 plus water. Now you simply balance this. So one carbon here. So one carbon. Hydrogen is 1, 2, 3, 4 here. So it has to be 4 here. Now nitrogen is also 4. So 4 here. That's it. So this is balanced. Carbonic acid from carbon and concentrated nitric acid. Let's go on to the question number 4. So question number 4 is state the first question. State the relevant reason for the following. Okay, give reason. Read the question type very carefully, bachcho. A. During the extraction of aluminium, cryolite and fluorspar are added to alumina. Why? Okay, so this is the reason. Cryolite and fluorspar are added to alumina to lower the melting point of aluminium, to make alumina a good conductor of electricity, and cryolite also acts as a solvent for alumina. Clear? Great. Now, why in construction work alloy duralumin is used rather than aluminium? Why we don't use aluminium and we use duralumin? So, in construction work, alloy duralumin is used rather than aluminium because duralumin is harder, stronger and more resistant to corrosion. These 3 points you have to mention. Let's see the next question. Write the composition of alloys given below. Duralumin and magnesium. So duralumin is aluminium, copper. So even if they tell you write the composition, it is not compulsory to write the exact percentage. Okay, children, you can get full marks only by writing the components only. Aluminium, copper, magnesium, manganese. That's it. And magnesium is aluminium and magnesium. But if you are able to remember the percentage very well, it will give you an edge over others. Now, identify the terms for the following. Okay. The experiment which demonstrate extreme solubility of hydrogen chloride gas. Okay. Which experiment it is? Just now we have done, bachcho. Fountain experiment. Fountain experiment. Okay. Next, the industrial process, I am writing B, okay. The industrial process, it starts with the reaction of catalytic oxidation of alumina. So the answer is Ostwald's process. Right. If you are confused with all this, please go and watch my videos on metallurgy. I have given a detailed description of every topic, every concept. Okay, so don't miss out any of my lectures of metallurgy chapter. The electrode where oxidation takes place. This is so easy. Where oxidation will take place? At anode, right? And reduction takes place. Metal kahan form hota? Where is metal formed? Metal is formed by reduction, right? So metal is formed at anode, cathode. and oxidation takes place at anode. Okay, oxidation, you always remember, oxidation happens at anode, and reduction, that is the formation of metal. Where is the metal formed? It is always formed at cathode. Metal ions always travel towards cathode. Okay, chalo. Complete and balance the equations given below. So first equation is NaCl plus H2SO4. You have to see this, all the conditions also, less than 200. So you remember there were two conditions, less than 200 condition was also there, and more than 200 condition was also there. So in this case, if it is less than, then it will form Na2SO4 plus HCl. Right? Now, magnesium nitride plus water gives magnesium hydroxide and ammonia. Right? Just see if it is balanced. Yes, it is. Now, this is what? 2 carbon atoms. Okay, and this is OH, all ethanol plus H2SO4. Okay, is giving you, हमने अभी किया था. Okay, so we have done the opposite one. Okay, we have done this. Okay, chalo, I will not go into so much details. Let's not go into details right now. Just a second, bachcho. Okay, so it will give you CH2, double bond CH2 and water. Okay, it will form ethene if it is concentrated H2SO4. Okay, now let's go on to question number 5. The chief ore of aluminium, bauxite, that is bauxite, is concentrated by Bayer's process and extracted by electrolytic reduction of Hall-Herold's process. Correct? So what is the question? Furnish the following by means of equations. हमें इन दोनों को explain करना है with the means of equations. So what is the first one? The 3 steps required in the concentration of ore. तो तीनों step concentration वाले. Then what is asked in B? Cathode and anode reactions in the extraction of aluminium by electrolytic reduction. So let's see. I have already explained this part in detail, right? In very much detail. So just see here. Bauxite is mixed with concentrated sodium hydroxide solution. Bauxite dissolves to form sodium aluminate, leaving behind the impurity ferric oxide unreacted. The solution is filtered where sodium is collected as filtrate and the impurities are left behind. ये देखो, this is Al2O3.2H2O, alumina. Bauxite. Okay, it is mixed with alumina is this last में जो हमको मिलता है Al2O3. This is alumina, right? And this is Al2O3.2H2O is bauxite. So when it is treated with sodium hydroxide, it will form NaAlO2, sodium aluminate. Okay, and in this there is some impurity of iron oxide which remains indissolved. क्योंकि aluminium oxide जो है बेटा वो क्या है? It is amphoteric. It will react with acid as well as base, right? So it has reacted with base. Whereas ferric oxide, metal oxide are base. It cannot react with base, right, to form any compound. So this remains unreacted. The ferric oxide remains unreacted and we get NaAlO2, sodium aluminate. Now sodium aluminate solution is diluted with water. Okay. Then we get white precipitate of aluminium hydroxide. This is the precipitate that we get. Okay. Now this precipitate we heat it at a very high temperature. Okay, to get pure alumina. Now this pure alumina is taken in an electrolytic jar and then electrolysis happens. Okay. So let's see what happens at cathode and anode. See, at cathode I told you metals are formed at cathode. Right, so metal ions being positive go towards the negative electrode, that is cathode. Okay, it accepts 3 electron and form aluminium metal. This is the metal in the pure form. Okay, now what happens at anode? Anode is a positive electrode. here negative ions will go. So this will go, oxide will go, O2 minus, it will form O. Okay, nascent oxygen, 2 nascent oxygen will form O2. Okay, now carbon rods at the anode, they will also react with O2 to form CO2. Okay, this also you can mention. Otherwise, only till oxygen if you write, it is perfectly correct. Now, select the correct answer from the brackets to complete the following statements. The drying agent used to dry ammonia gas is. Okay, so which is the drying agent used to dry ammonia gas? It is quicklime. Okay, this is the correct answer. The product formed when ammonia reacts with carbon dioxide at 150 degrees Celsius and 150 atmospheric pressure is it urea or ammonium nitrate? So it is urea. Let's go to the next question. Name the following organic compounds. Okay. A hydrocarbon which on catalytic hydrogenation gives a saturated hydrocarbon. Saturated is single bond. Okay. So which hydrocarbon on catalytic hydrogenation, मतलब एक एक हाइड्रोजन ऐड हो जाएगा तो सैचुरेटेड बना देगा, तो इथीन ना, right? You can write ethene. You remember this? If there is a double bond here, I am not satisfying the hydrogens. Okay. Now catalytic hydrogenation, hydrogen is added. तो ये तो ऐसा था ही, यहाँ पे एक एक जुड़ के ये बन गया. तो it has formed a saturated hydrocarbon. It has formed a ethane. See here, there will be CH2, CH2, right? So CH2, CH2 तो था ही, और ये H और H जुड़ गया. So it is basically CH3, CH3. But the question is asked a hydrocarbon which, ये वाला question पूछा, this on catalytic hydrogen gives a saturated hydrocarbon. So we don't have to write ethane, we have to write ethene, because ethene on catalytic hydrogenation gave us this. Is that clear? Okay, next. So the answer here is ethene. Now, the first homologue whose general formula is CnH2n plus 2. So CnH2n plus 2 is for alkane, and they have given the first homologue. Which is the first member of alkane? It is methane, isn't it? Now, the product formed when a mixture of acetylene and hydrogen is heated at 200 degrees Celsius. So अभी हमने just reaction दिया था, ethylene and hydrogen, that is ethene and hydrogen are heated at 200 degrees. So they are now asking the product. So the product is ethane. Correct? I had just written the equation in reaction in case of first question, A question. Clear to you? Let's go to the fourth question. Some bacteria obtain their energy by oxidizing sulfur, producing sulfur dioxide as a byproduct. Now, in the laboratory or industrially, the first step in the conversion of sulfur to sulfuric acid is to produce sulfur dioxide, है ना? Then sulfur dioxide is converted to sulfur trioxide. देखो आप पहले वाले क्वेश्चन में initially we had got this order. Do you remember? तो अगर आपको उस वक्त क्वेश्चन का आंसर नहीं आ रहा था, तो when you come and look at this question, you will be able to answer this, right? So some of the answers of the questions are always hidden in the question paper itself. So the first step is conversion of sulfur to sulfuric acid is to produce sulfur dioxide. It is then converted into sulfur trioxide, which reacts with water, producing sulfuric acid. Now in this we have to answer these three questions. Name the catalyst used industrially which speeds up the conversion of sulfur dioxide to sulfur trioxide. So you can use platinum and vanadium pentaoxide. So V2O5. Okay. Write the equation for the अच्छा नेम बोला है, देखो बच्चों ध्यान से देखो, मैंने यहाँ मिस्टेक की, नेम बोला है. You cannot be writing the formula. You will not get marks. Even if you are correct, you will not get marks. Okay. So you have to say platinum and you have to say vanadium pentaoxide. No, vanadium is Va. Vanadium pentaoxide. Clear? Now write the equation for the conversion of sulfur dioxide to sulfur trioxide. Why does this reaction supply energy? Okay, देखो, SO2 reacts with oxygen to form sulfur trioxide, and a lot of energy is also 45 kilocalorie of energy is released. Okay, so when conversion of SO2 to SO3 takes place according to the following reaction, 45 kilocalorie energy is supplied because this is an exothermic reaction and this energy is given out. Okay, so why does this reaction supply energy? Because it is an exothermic reaction, you will say. Now, what is the name of compound formed between sulfur trioxide and sulfuric acid? So, sulfur trioxide and concentrated sulfuric acid, it forms oleum, right? H2S2O7. Don't write the formula. You have to write the answer as oleum, because the question is, right, what is the name of the compound? You just write the name of the compound. No need to give this also. Okay. So these were the answers. Okay, let's go ahead. Question number 6. Distinguish between ethene and ethane using potassium permanganate solution. Okay, so using this solution, how you can differentiate? See, if you have two test tubes, okay, you have given two test tubes. Okay, in one test tube there is ethene and in one test tube there is ethane. How will you distinguish between them? Okay, you don't have to write difference between them here. Correct? Let me place the test tubes. You have to write, how will you identify basically that which one is ethene and which one is ethane. Okay. So when few drops of purple color potassium permanganate is added to ethane, its purple color fades. Its purple color does not fade, right? Because ethane to saturated hai, it will not react. But when a few drops of it is added to ethene, the solution decolorizes. Okay, and we will be able to find out that this is ethene. So wherever you see discoloration, that is ethene. Now next, how will you distinguish between hydrogen chloride gas and carbon dioxide gas using silver nitrate solution? Okay, so this is how you will do. See, hydrogen chloride gas and carbon dioxide. So if you add AgNO3, okay, in both the test tubes, okay, one test tube is containing HCl gas and one is containing carbon dioxide gas. Okay, now first if you put AgNO3, curdy white PPT will appear for HCl and not for carbon dioxide. So you will identify that is HCl. Okay, now when what you can do, so first one is enough to identify, or when carbon dioxide gas is passed into lime water, it forms a milky white precipitate of calcium carbonate, whereas HCl mein agar pass karenge, if we pass it in if HCl is passed into lime water, nothing will happen. But if CO2 is passed over lime water, milky white precipitate is formed. So either you write this one or this one. Okay, and if you know both of them and you have time for both, you can write both. Correct? Now, give one word for the following statements. A hydrocarbon which is a greenhouse gas. Come on, quickly tell me. A hydrocarbon which is a greenhouse gas. Just a second, children. So the answer is methane. Methane is a greenhouse gas, all of us know. Okay, the process involved in the extraction of pure metals from their ore is metallurgy. Isn't it so easy? So you guys are just simply scared of chemistry paper. If you watch all my sessions, your chemistry paper will go really, really good. And just before the exams, I will give you one short revision of all the chapters. Don't worry. Okay, now the third question. A, B, C and D summarizes the properties of sulfuric acid depending on whether it is dilute or concentrated. Okay, So capital A is typical acid property, B is non-volatile acid, C is oxidizing agent, and D is dehydrating agent. Now choose the property A, B, C or D depending on which is relevant to each of the following. Let's see the first question. Preparation of hydrogen chloride gas. Okay? So when you are preparing hydrogen chloride gas, which property you should use? Okay, out of these four, which property of which property of sulfuric acid are you actually using? So B, non-volatile acid, right? Now, preparation of copper sulfate from copper oxide. So copper sulfate से copper oxide जब हम बना रहे हैं तो typical acid property you will use. Okay, A, typical acid property. Action of concentrated sulfuric acid on sulfur. So sulfur को oxidize कराएंगे, so oxidizing agent. So C, oxidizing agent will be used. Okay, now let's see the last question for today. Copy and complete the following table which relates to the three homologous series of hydrocarbon. देखो, alkynes is CnH2n minus 2. Okay, now CnH2n is alkene and CnH2n plus 2 is alkane, है ना? Very nice. Characteristic bond type. Alkyne में क्या होता है? Triple bond होता है, right? एल्कीन में डबल बॉन्ड होता है और यहाँ पे सिंगल बॉन्ड्स. नाउ यू विल से मैम आप ऐसे भी तो बना सकते थे, बट आप यहाँ देखो यहाँ पे सिंगल बॉन्ड्स लिखा हुआ है, सो दैट इज व्हाई यू विल हैव टू राइट हियर ट्रिपल बॉन्ड्स एंड डबल बॉन्ड्स. ओके, IUPAC नेम ऑफ द फर्स्ट मेंबर ऑफ द सीरीज. ओके, सो नाउ यू नो फॉर एल्केन द फर्स्ट मेंबर इज मीथेन. But in case of double bond, there cannot be a double bond if there are not two carbon atoms. So two carbon atoms are required, right? So it is ethene and here it is ethine, right? You don't have to write common names. It is written IUPAC names. So you have to be really careful with each and every letter out here. Okay. So that is the answer. So I hope you understood each and every question of this sample paper. I have given you the link of this particular book in the description box, so you can solve a lot of sample papers. I am coming out tomorrow with a free giveaway of this book. So stay tuned to Zenith Academy Online and 3 of you lucky winners will get a free giveaway of this book. Okay. So remain tuned to Zenith Academy Online and keep the learning always on. If you have not yet subscribed to our channel, do it right away and please share it with your friends so that your ICSE exams goes very smoothly. Okay, bye-bye.